Welcome to the AMP video demo. In this demo, I will be showing you how AMP Invoice Management can help your company automate and simplify invoice processing with the power of artificial intelligence. Let's get started. This is the home screen of the AMP cockpit. First, we will upload a document by using the Upload Document function. We can select the document we want to upload into the system, and on the right-hand side, a preview of the invoice will be displayed, so we can verify that the correct invoice is uploaded. When we process the upload, the invoice will be submitted for extraction. After the extraction has completed, we can select the invoice in the Uploaded Invoices screen, where it will be automatically added to the invoice queue. And as we can see here, the new invoice has now been added. When we double-click on the item, it will load the invoice, and it will show us all the information that has been extracted for this invoice. We can see that the vendor number and the invoice date have been correctly extracted. We can see that the invoice number has been correctly extracted, and we can see that the total gross amount and tax amount have been correctly extracted for this invoice. We can also see that this invoice is in relation to a purchase order, and that it has a correctly extracted purchase order number, and it is showing us the purchase order information on the screen. We can see that this is for a purchase order quantity of 1, and that no invoices have yet been received. We can show the SAP integration by double-clicking on the purchase order number, which will take us directly to the purchase order as it is stored in the SAP system. We can verify the checks that have been performed by pressing the validation button. Here we can see a duplicate invoice has already been uploaded and has been detected for this invoice. We will now proceed with parking the invoice with the parking functionality so that we can display the integration with the SAP workflow handling. After parking the document, we see that the invoice status is yellow and that a document number has been assigned. We can double-click the number, which will take us to the parked invoice document as it is available in SAP, and it has a status that it needs to be released. We will now move to the Business Workplace, where we can demonstrate the integration within the standard SAP document release workflow. Our document will show up as a complete workflow for the parked document. This is a two-step procedure, where we first perform the validation and completion, and in the next step we will perform the release of the parked document. We can display the parked document, and we can verify that the information is correct. If we are happy with the information of the invoice, we can save the document as completed. This means that it will now be available for the actual release step. If we refresh the information in the Business Workplace, we will see that the release workflow item has been created. If we select the document, we will see that it is completed for posting, and it now has the status to be released. In this particular instance, the invoice has a release threshold of 150 euros, and as it is 450 euros, it is over the threshold, so we need to perform the invoice release step. This workflow step is fully integrated with the document parking as well, and here we can now decide if we want to release or reject the invoice. Now let us say we are happy with the invoice and we want to approve it. Then we can now release it, and it will be posted as an invoice in the SAP system. We can show this. Now the invoice state is green, which means it is posted. The document number is available. If we double-click on the document number, we will see it display the invoice document and that we now have accounting documents, as it has been posted. So this shows the full integration of AMP within the SAP system. If we look at the purchase order, we can also see that the details have been updated here as well. So in the purchase order history, you can now see that we have received and posted an invoice for this purchase order. If we go back to the overview of the invoice queue, we can see that all the details are now available and the invoice status is green, which means it has been posted. It's as easy as that. I hope that you enjoyed this quick AMP Invoice Management demo. If you would like to take a closer look, or if you have any questions, schedule a demo with an AMP expert today or contact us.